Hello and welcome to this edition of English News. I'm Kate Mary. First, the top headlines. Human Rights Initiative alleged that Janani Sishu Suraksha Karyakram scheme fails in the state. Now the news in detail. Janani Sishu Suraksha Karyakram, a scheme for childbirth taken up by the state government under the guidelines of central government, has failed in the state, says the Human Rights Initiative. It was said in a press conference held at the office of the NGO located at Wangkai Thangapad, Mapal. Speaking to media persons, Executive Director of the NGO, W. Joy Kumar, alleged that the state scheme have been implemented in the state since the year 2011, when the scheme was launched by UPA government on June 11 of the same year. Further, he added that so far a single pregnant woman had enjoyed the scheme in government hospitals of the state. Moreover, the pregnant woman even get the benefit of the scheme at Reams Hospital and Jenims, owned by the state government. On the other hand, the medicines which has to be given free of cost are not getting by the pregnant woman so far. Further, he added that the concerned authority should take up the necessary action and should provide the benefit of the scheme at the earliest.
UPA की chairperson Sonia Gandhi अमसुंग मणिपुर Chief Minister ओकम ओ इबुबिना मणिपुर पजामे अंदर नमथा अमा तौरबरा करियम नरमाय बसे कोई चिंगदरे करियम मसे नमथा तौते करियम नदी हाइबा तारगदी होजिक 2011 दगिना होजिक फावदा गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल दा अंगांग पोकिबा सिंगसे मसिगी नुपीगी मैम लिस्ट मला खलकांदा मोगी इन्वेस्टमेंट तगदबनी अमरोमदा Chief Minister की डिस्ट्रिक्ट ओरिबा थौबाल डिस्ट्रिक्ट की हॉस्पिटल जी मसि काना बसि खगरा फंगी हाय अदुगा चुचामपुर की हेल्थ मिनिस्टर की डिस्ट्रिक्ट ओइबा चुचामपुर हॉस्पिटल दसु मसि खगा फंगी हाय अदु मरमसिना जेएसएस के से मणिपुर खुतक सनगदबनी अदुगा गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल सिंग दा मिनिस्टर लैरबा अनाबा सिंग दमक्तदी clinical laboratory tes hospital 24-hour service pangdabani.
Folk song competition for Kabui communities held at Manipur Dramatic Hall today. The competition was organized by Tinkao Ragwang Chapriya, Chabon Farm, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland. Different communities of Kabui residing at different parts of the state were participated in the competition. Many leaders of Kabui communities were also present in the function. Various folk dance forms of Kabui communities, Mazalu, Lamlulu, Lamlu and Konglon were present by the competitors. Speaking on the occasion, Secretary Tinkao Ragwang Khangsinlum Dangmei said that the main objective of the organizing the competition is to preserve and develop the folk song of the Kabui community.
Roots dugi thimda tawbani mase akhoi ki panali punaki culture amasung any practices mayam se akhoi kanhausi habagi youth based over youth focused over adum bagi competition makhal lamani.
One cadre of RPF PLA was arrested by Imphal West Commando. According to a press statement of Imphal West SP, the cadre was identified as Laimuzam Shano, age 30, son of Kumar from Krason, Makhalekai. He was also divisional secretary in charge of Imphal West of the organization, the statement added. One-day workshop on national land reform policy held at MVHA Hall, Wangkai Ningthem Pukri Mapal. The workshop was organized jointly by Manipuri Voluntary Health Association and Ekta Parishad Northeast Region Manipur Chapter. Environmentalist R.K. Ranjan, member of National Task Force on Land Reform, Government of India, Ramesh Sharma and dignitaries were also present. Speaking on the workshop, R.K. Ranjan explained minutely on the topic overview on land, forest and water, present challenges in Manipur State and Regional Coordinator Ekta Parishad, Northeast India, Aribam Rishikant Sharma appealed to the Government of India to implement the Memorandum of Understanding which has already submitted to them at the earliest.
The government point taragi manungda amani adubu war sakana masi thatau ki manungda masi policy semgali haibasi kuji phawo su thindarakpa aga maru baina ekta parisaki go back to the village haibdi ekoi ko leiriba koi leba kunsta halaga mayam singsda delhi yongna koina war sakagi yanuri post mayam singsda gyan tahanba aduga mayam singsina madugi speed up tawna bagi bagi safu ma inda government pikal na bagi sagat bagi ahaba thongthang.
A book entitled as An Instruction to Land Tenure in Manipur and the Manipur Land Revenue and Land Reform Act 1960, written by retired District and Session Judge Imphal East H. Jugeshwar, was released at his residence. The book releasing function was attended by former Chief Justice Guwahati High Court R.K. Manishana, Professor E. Bijoy, Principal LMS Law College M.D. Salatur Rahman and other dignitaries. Speaking on the occasion, Justice N. Koteshwar said that everybody should respect the rule of law. Further, he added that the book which is released today will enhance the knowledge of land revenue to the people.
In the administration as well as a judicial officer, which he had discharged with distinction and fairness, ultimately as a district and session judge, and he had a very long stint also as a judge at a tribunal, presiding officer of the revenue tribunal.
At least 45 people, including children, have died and several others injured in twin blasts inside the premises of a church in a crowded area in Peshawar in Pakistan. 13 of the injured are said to be in critical condition. Nearly 500 parishioners were reportedly present inside the church when the explosions occurred in the Kisa Khawani Bazaar, one of the oldest areas in the respective city in the northwestern part of the country. AFP quoted Bomb Disposal Squad Chief Abdul Haq as saying that 2 suicide bombers blew themselves up outside the church when people were coming out after Sunday Mass. An emergency has been declared at hospitals across the city. Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has condemned the attack, saying terrorists have no religion and targeting innocent people is against the teaching of Islam and all religions. No group claim has responsibility for the blast, but radical Islamists have been blamed for various previous attacks on the country's minority communities, including Christians. 2 Indians are among 39 killed in a bloody massacre by armed terrorists at a crowded upscale mall in the Kenyan capital of Nairobi on Saturday. Over 150 people, including 4 Indians, have been wounded in the lethal assault. The Indians killed in the carnage have been identified as Sridhar Natharanjan, 40, who was working with a pharma firm, and Paramsu Jain, A8, son of a bank manager, Mr. Akbaruddin said. Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta, in a televised address, said his close family members were among the dead. He said the security forces were engaged in a delicate operation, with the top priority being to safeguard the lives of people being held. The Somali Islamist group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for Saturday's attack on the part Israeli-owned Westgate Mall, which is frequented by Westerners as well as Kenyans. Several foreigners, including a Canadian diplomat, were among the dead. The Al-Qaeda-linked militants who are locked in a standoff with Kenyan security forces are holding an unknown number of hostages. Bu Xilai, the pugnacious Chinese politician whose downfall shook the Communist Party, was sentenced to life in prison Sunday after a court found him guilty of bribe-taking, embezzlement and abuse of power in a failed attempt to stifle murder allegations against his wife. The sentence means Bo, the son of a communist revolutionary leader, is unlikely to ever return to public life unless there is an extraordinary reversal in his political fortunes. Given the Communist Party's tight control of the judiciary, there was never much doubt that the Jinan Intermediate People's Court in eastern China would find Bo guilty. Even before the verdict, commentaries in state-run news media declared that Bo's guilt was clear. Yet until the end, Bo remained defiant, pleading not guilty and contesting nearly every aspect of the prosecutor's case during his trial in August. Family associates have said Bo would most likely appeal his sentence. Bo, aged 64, was removed from his post as Communist Party Secretary of Chongqing in southwest China in March 2012, over a month after his former police chief Wang Lizun took refuge in a nearby U.S. consulate for nearly 36 hours. Therein later, under questioning by Chinese investigators, Wang implicated Bo's wife in the murder of the British businessman Neil Hewood, who was fatally poisoned in a Tronquin Hotel Villa in November 2012. Encephalitis menace continues unabated in eastern UP, where 6 more children have died, taking the death toll to 285 this year. The 6 children died in the last 2 days at the BRD Medical College Hospital, health officials said today. As many as 12 people suffering from the disease were admitted to the hospital today. Adding that 158 patients were being treated at BRD Medical College Hospital and different government hospitals in the region. This year, 1,374 persons suffering from the disease were admitted to these hospitals, of which 285 died. A 50-year-old man has been sentenced to life imprisonment by a local court of Delhi for ravishing his minor niece, allowing others to gang rape her and forcing her into prostitution. The court convicted Uttar Pradesh resident Pannu for 6 offences: rape, gang rape, criminal intimidation, criminal conspiracy, wrongful confinement and procuring the girl for prostitution. Additional Session Judge Virendra Bhatt sentenced Pannu to 10 years rigorous imprisonment for conspiracy, 10 years jail for rape, 14 years for immoral trafficking and life term, saying the sentences would not run concurrently. It said he had brought the minor from her villages after her father's death on the assurance that he would take care of her, but he ill-treated her and made her prey of his sexual lust. He did not stop at that, but made her consume liquor forcibly and then do nude dance, after which she was gang raped by the convict and his associates, added the court. Even after this, the convict had no mercy for the minor girl and forced her into prostitution. The convict had been doing all this with the tacit approval of his wife, the judge said. The court said that the beastly and dastardly acts of Pannu, who was brother of the victim's father, are unpardonable and make him liable for exemplary sentence. To wrap up, the headlines once again. Human Rights Initiative alleged that Janani Sishu Suraksha Karyakram scheme fails in the state. But that's it in this edition. Stay tuned and keep watching.